Hey there and welcome back to my channel. So it's been a quiet week, but it's gone by pretty quickly. We had a civic holiday here in Ontario. So Monday was a holiday and my family all got together in my parents' backyard. Had some food. We celebrated my sister's birthday and my husband's upcoming birthday. Played some badminton. Yeah, I was feeling pretty good. A lot more energy, just less pain and discomfort in my hands and feet just by like a little bit. So I was feeling pretty psyched. So that was a nice visit. Then on Tuesday I had a massage appointment booked, and I was looking so forward to just doing something for myself, that having an appointment that didn't have anything to do with my my cancer treatment was a nice little touch there. So yeah, I had this hour-long massage, which was great because I've had a lot of tightness and just some like achiness throughout my body, specifically in my legs, and a bit of my lower back. So she did a nice like full body massage, which was great, but did like a lot more focus on my legs, and trying to get a little bit more circulation into my feet and my hands for the neuropathy. So that was really nice. The next day I woke up and felt rough. It was pretty rough. I felt sore. I felt like my hands were just horribly achy. My feet were hurting again, so it was I think maybe like the massage just kind of released a bunch of stuff in my body, and so I had a day of feeling pretty gnarly. My cat's just eating in the background, so that's that chomping noise, if you can hear that. Plus my air conditioning is on because it's hot in here. So that brings us to today, which is Thursday, August 5th, and it is MRI day. So I'm about to head off to the hospital to have my MRI. This will be the first MRI I've had since I was going through the diagnostic phase. I know I had an ultrasound a little while ago, so I have kind of like a glimpse at what the MRI might tell us, but the ultrasound happened after I finished AC chemo, and I haven't had anything since I went through Taxotere. So the MRI will really show if Taxotere did anything besides make me miserable, but it will show whether it it shrunk anything more or changed anything more than from when we finished AC and did the ultrasound. So yeah, heading into the hospital, gonna get the MRI done, and then we wait until next week, where at some point the surgeon is going to call me. I don't have they haven't given me a day or a time or anything like that of when they're going to call, so I'm just going to basically sit with my phone beside me. Yeah, the other thing on the docket for this week is tomorrow I have an acupuncture appointment booked. As I mentioned before, I was doing acupuncture quite regularly, like on a weekly basis for fertility, back before my cancer diagnosis, and so I'm going back to see my acupuncturist for the first time since it was maybe December of 2020 that I stopped, and that was the last time I saw her. So it'll be nice to get back in there with the goal of, again, working for my hands and my feet specifically. And if she can maybe get in there and do a little of her fertility stuff, maybe try and heal up stuff that's going on down there, just on the chance that maybe my ovaries and reproductive organs aren't completely done with me after chemo. So, we'll put a few needles in there just in case. Anyways, I need to get to the hospital, so I'm gonna pack this up for here, and I will check back in a little bit, and update on results and other going-ons. But it's been a pretty quiet week. So I just had my acupuncture appointment. It was good. Some points were very, very, very tender and hurt a lot when it went in, but overall it was fine and didn't hurt. They usually don't too much. So yeah, I'm hoping that I'm going to get some improvement in my hands and my feet following this, and and just maybe just feel a little bit better. We focused more on my like lower body since I have like weakness in my legs, and then the feet with the neuropathy, and then hands. So yeah, so now I'm gonna wait until I book my next appointment, because next week the surgeon's supposed to call, but I don't know what day or time or anything like that. So I don't want to book any appointments until I get that phone call, so that there's no chance of me missing it. So yeah, so that's where I'm at. Just gonna head home now and get some supper ready. But yeah, that was my outing for the day. We'll see how I feel in a little bit, because I know after the MRI I was exhausted and just felt like garbage. So these outings take a lot out of me. All right, I'm gonna head home because the car is very, very hot because it's been sitting in the sun and it's like 30 degrees out. Okay, talk to you soon. So I was expecting the surgeon to call sometime between August 9th and August 13th. And I waited, and I waited, and I waited, and he didn't call. I actually handled it better than I thought I would. I thought I'd be freaking out like every single day, but it was really more so just the Friday that I was kind of like, I don't know if I should call the office and just, you know, talk to his administrative assistant and see if I'm on the, you know, on the schedule to get a call today, that Friday. But I decided, you know what, if I don't hear from him on the Friday, I would call Monday in the afternoon just to check in. So yeah, I spent the whole week just waiting for a phone call that didn't come. What phone call did come though was my oncologist. I had a follow-up virtual, so a phone call with her scheduled for the 12th, in which we were just going to check in and see how things were going, and you know, I could then tell her about, you know, how I've been healing up over the last month from chemo, what symptoms I'm still having, any concerns, questions, that kind of thing. And the bonus was she had my MRI results. MRI results. I could barely even say that. So I was able to find out what the MRI report said, and it was really, 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 really good news. It's looking like I may have gotten a complete clinical response. What that means is they think that the chemo was successful in eradicating all of the tumors that were present in my breast. They did note 2 spots of enhancement, which could potentially just be, you know, the rotting carcass of tumors dead. So like scar tissue or something like that. But we won't know until the surgery happens. So putting those 2 spots of enhancement aside, everything else is clear. There's no other evidence of the cancer that was seen before. Originally, I had 3 notable tumors, 2 of them at which I could feel, and then there was sort of like this speckling of cancer cells, like cancer clusters, throughout my breast. This MRI shows that all of those clusters are gone and the tumors are gone. You might remember back when I finished AC, I had the ultrasound, which showed that they were shrinking, but they were still there. Now, gone. So I was not expecting that. I was super thrilled, and then super, super emotional. I think I cried for like an hour afterwards. I was so blown away and happy, and just like, wow, I didn't expect to have a potentially a complete response. I mean, there's those 2 spots, again, which could still be remaining cancer, but like I said as well, they could just be, you know, the decaying wreckage of tumors killed by cancer, chemo, cancer brain, chemo brain, Anywho, words. So, fantastic news. After that, what did I do? It was my husband's birthday on Friday the 13th. So we did something we haven't done in a very long time. You know, just not feeling comfortable and, you know, just not feeling up to it. But, you know, it was his birthday, so we went to the movies. we haven't done that since before COVID hit. So we went to go see Free Guy. Big Ryan Reynolds fan. Go Canada. And it was really cool to be back in the theater. I spent, like, that was our thing. We would go to the movies all the time. And not going, like, was really sad for me. And I missed it a lot. So, you know, we masked up. I bought tickets to the IMAX screening of it, just on the off chance that maybe people at this point maybe weren't willing to spend the extra few dollars on IMAX, so we get maybe less people in the theater. And overall, there wasn't a huge amount, which is sad for Cineplex, but you know, for our first venturing out into a public forum like that, it was, you know, it just felt a little bit safer knowing that there wasn't anyone sitting anywhere close to us during it. And I got to have my popcorn, and he got to have his nachos, and it was a good, fun movie. It was a good movie to come back to as our first movie going experience since 2020. 2020? Yeah, probably early 2020. So yeah, so we celebrated his birthday that way. That was the Friday, and then, you know, just chilled out on the weekend, and Monday morning, 9 a.m., my phone was ringing. It was the surgeon. That was yesterday. He was calling to, you know, tell me the great news about the MRI, which I'd already heard from my oncologist, which was great, and then asked me to come in that afternoon to have a meeting with him. So my husband and I went into the hospital. This is the first time my husband was ever in the hospital, because he was never allowed to come in with me to any of my appointments. I went through every single step by myself. Thank you, COVID. So this was his first time coming in to an appointment with me. So we met with the surgeon and, you know, went into a little bit more detail on the MRI. Again, just like how amazing it is that I had such a great response. As scary as triple negative breast cancer is, as one of the most aggressive breast cancers, it also is one of the breast cancers that respond the best to chemo, I'm told. So the fact that I got the response I did is just wonderful. And like I said, really, it makes me feel a little bit better going into surgery, knowing that we're coming from like this place of potentially already cancer-free, and then surgery is going to just really be that precaution. So we did talk about options just because of the type of response I had and how good it was. He did present me with the option of lumpectomies, opposed to a full mastectomy of the right side. So the lumpectomy is where they would go in and he would excise an area around where the tumors were and remove those. I think that option, it was very tempting for me. I mean, from day one, I have had the resolve that I'm going to end up having a mastectomy. That's just what it is. But to then have this option dangled, even though he was making it clear that, like, don't choose this, don't choose this option. You want to make sure that you are doing everything possible to combat this breast cancer, it being triple negative and everything. So, but because I had that response to the chemo, he wanted to just present me the option of the lumpectomy, which would have preserved the breast. I probably would have had some deformity because I had multiple tumors, but it would have preserved the breast, opposed to the mastectomy, which will remove all of the breast tissue. So after a little bit of time thinking about that in the office and just like the potential that maybe we could have saved it, but then like, I don't want to have to do this again if I don't have to, you know, like if I can do something to prevent it. So the mastectomy just makes the most sense. We're not doing a double mastectomy. My left side is healthy. I tested negative for genetic testing, so I don't have a genetic predisposition to getting cancer. It's not to say that someday down the line I might not
develop cancer in that other breast or somewhere else in my body for that matter. Like that's a real thing that I'm gonna have to live with for the rest of my life, is that threat. But I guess everybody has the threat of cancer no matter what, but mine's just a little bit more real, having already had to do it once. So we have scheduled my mastectomy, which will be occurring in less than 2 weeks. So yeah, I had a rough day for a good part after coming home from the appointment, just letting it all sink in and think about what it means and what my life is going to be like after. And I know like the whole, like, it's better because, you know, it's your life and everything. Sorry, I'm losing, it's hard. I know it's the right decision and I feel confident in that decision. It's just sad. I mean, I'd kept this part of this journey, like, so, like in its own box, that I hadn't emotionally processed what it's going to mean, and like having a part of my body cut off, and so like it's just kind of slamming into me now when I think about it, and when it's like real and it's like coming up really fast. But it's, you know, it's what it is and it's what I've got to do. And in the end, it's the right decision. So that's where I'm at right now. We'll be just getting things ready and preparing, because I'll have probably a 4 to 6 week recovery time following the operation. And after that, it's probably on to radiation and potentially onto oral chemo. Another part of my surgery will be also having some of my lymph nodes removed. I originally did test positive in one of my lymph nodes for cancer, so even though the ultrasound and the MRI have shown that the lymph node is clear and looks healthy again, they will be doing something called a sentinel lymph node biopsy. Sentinel node biopsy, in which they remove about 3 to 4 lymph nodes, and then those will go off to pathology and be tested, and if it comes back that there is still cancer in them, then I will require a second surgery in which they will remove all of the lymph nodes. So we're hoping it doesn't get to that, because that would suck. But we will see what happens. So yeah, August 30th, big day. Just trying to, like I said, prepare myself mentally and emotionally, because it's been a ride, and it's all hitting just a little harder right now as I process this next step and this change in my life and my body and how I'm gonna look. And yeah, down the line, talk of reconstruction and plans for that will happen, but in the meantime, because I'll be going into radiation and other stuff, like the reconstruction will happen after that. So probably looking at, he said, about 1 to 2 years before reconstruction would be on the table. Yeah, so those are all the big updates. They're pretty big, and they're well, I mean, the MRI is like huge. That's such good news. And yeah, and then the surgery. So anywho, I'm going to wrap this video up now, because I'm having a little bit difficulty speaking, and then it's also rather emotional. So I just need to process this a little bit more. It all just happened yesterday, even though I've known since day one that this is where it's going. But anyways, just wanted to Ugh. I just wanted to update you guys because I know it's been a while, and I, just wanted to keep you in the loop of what's going on. But for a good chunk there, I didn't have anything going on. I was just, healing, recovering, and waiting. So it would have been a really boring video. So now you get all the news in once. So anyways, I will wrap it up here, and I will update you guys again as I get closer to my surgery and as best as I can following my surgery. I hope you guys are all doing wonderful and enjoying your days, your day, and I will check back with you guys soon. Bye.